The system goes online on August 4th, 1997. Human decisions are removed from strategic defense. Skynet begins to learn at a geometric rate. It becomes self-aware at 2:14 a.m. Eastern Time, August 29th. In a panic, they try to pull the plug.
Skynet fights back.
It's 11:59 at Radio Free America. This is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I've got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the walls. The chair is against the walls. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody to another edition of our Daily Gun Show. We come to you live each evening at midnight Eastern, and we talk about guns. And today is an interesting day because Skynet became self-aware today in, 97? So we're waiting for that. And it's also the day that a bunch of our auctions are coming due. Some of those will be happening while we're here live in the show. I'm going to jump over and grab those, throw them out to the audience in case anybody wants to make any last-minute bids here.
Did you plan that intentionally, that the auctions ended on Skynet's Aware Day?
I don't do anything unintentionally, so yes, definitely. So let's see, we got two more of them. First one already went, and it looks like the knives one will be the next one in 22 minutes. No, the next one will be the one that has no bids on it. So let's see how many of these went with no bids. I think one of the other ones might have gone with no bids too. Unsold. I'm not screen sharing, right? Yeah, looking through my auctions here. Yeah, it looks like the first one went through with no bids on it. Second one went through with no bids on it. That's too bad. And we've got a couple with bids on them, and we'll take a look at those. And then we have a couple without any bids on them. And the next one here is got 7 minutes, and it's a little one. At least it's little compared to some of the others. Just opening up on that one there. Yeah. So that's one is basically a bunch of the trading cards from the second set, and that's $20. That one's 7 minutes left on it. We've got this one does have some bids on it. There's one bid on it, and then we have the Mr. Knives one has 12 minutes to go. So let's see, put these in order. 22 minutes, 12 minutes, 11 minutes. So got a couple of 3 auctions that'll end during the show today. Looks like 2 of them will bring in a couple of bucks for the tank, so we'll have about $100 for the tank unless somebody else throws some cash at one of these. And just thought it would be neat, since you can, when you're creating an auction on eBay, you can adjust the time that it's going to go live, and then it'll of course go end at the same time. And the way eBay works is it ends at a specific time, unlike Gunbroker. So if there's a bidding war, it just ends, and whoever was the last person to get a bid in will win. A Gunbroker, I believe, will extend the auction 5 minutes every time there's a bid. All right, so I figured that was kind of neat. Otherwise, we're going to talk about some stuff that we normally would talk about on the show, including, well, I guess, Skynet. All right, so I figured that. And today's the anniversary of the Marine Force Reserve. I wonder if that's the same as the Marine Reserves.
It's not like a separate thing?
Well, I don't know about Marine Force, so I'm thinking it's just the Marine Reserves, yeah. But I'm not sure, so where's my notes?
Well, we'll go with it.
Figure I look in the history link that we got here, and that'll tell us if it's, or what it is at least.
All right, I'm going to look at this schedule because I'm unprepared. But anything cool happen to anyone today, or hear anything cool or whatever? You guys?
Yeah, they're all robots. They're just, I don't know what they do.
All right.
Man, I never hear nothing. I'm stuck in the kitchen all day. I don't hear anything except for tickets printing out and pots and pans and all that kind of stuff.
All right, and are you cooking? Like, that's what you do?
Uh-huh.
Are you, for those who don't?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I mean what was like the best moment of your day today in the kitchen?
Oh geez, I don't know.
Besides leaving.
Nothing too eventful happened. I mean, it was actually pretty slow. Not a whole lot going on.
That's
All
good.
But I hired a guy today. That's good. Hopefully he works out.
Oh yeah,
So that's always a good feeling. You know what I mean?
Talk about that in a chat sometime, maybe one of the after chats that Tater does. But today's entertainment day, so we talk about Skynet since it's the day Skynet became self-aware, or we could talk about kitchen. I don't know, or we could talk about maybe something in movies or something else in entertainment since it's entertainment day. No, come on. It's like, got some Skynet day. Find out. Does anybody out there want to talk about Skynet? I'll give you a link. Dead horse, please. Come on.
You can't talk about Skynet on Skynet.
Has anybody seen Terminator before?
Many times.
Yeah, Terminator's a great flick.
I think everybody.
it.
I think I've seen all but the newest one.
Yeah, I haven't seen the newest one.
What
Is
are
that the one where he's got gray hair?
we calling the newest one where Schwarzenegger's in it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, where he's supposed to be old or something.
Isn't it called the Sarah whatever, or was that was a show, right?
The Sarah,
Yeah, the Sarah Chronicles or whatever.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I didn't see that.
Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was supposed to be off of the, like they said whenever they were making it that wasn't in whatever they call it, the same universe. It was like parallel or something. Well, right away because the Terminator's girl.
Yeah, the last real one I actually visually seen was the third one. I guess where it was a chick. Wasn't really Terminator, I don't think. Right? Is that the one where the kid was driving around in the truck with the veterinarian?
Hold on. You're saying the last one you've seen was the one where he drives around, well, he meets her in the kennel?
Yeah, that's visually. I've watched all the other ones, but it's just that DVS stuff. So that was the last visual one I seen with the chick, which wasn't really.
Yeah, that was Terminator 3.
Yeah. That's the first one.
I've only seen. I don't think I've seen Terminator 3.
At 2:14 Eastern Standard Time on August 29th, Skynet gained artificial consciousness. And when the operators, realizing the extent of its capabilities, tried to deactivate it, Skynet perceived this as an attack. So because they tried to deactivate it, Skynet's like saying, oh, hey, like humans are trying to kill me, but I have this goal of protecting the world. So now I got to kill humans. So technically it was kind of us that started the war. But
That was that overreacted. But
Yeah.
because he became self-aware and started doing something at a something rate, right? And then that's when they got scared and unplugged it.
well, see, that was the original version.
Well,
The next version, which is Terminator 3, I believe, they showed that it started like putting viruses out on the net, and then they turned Skynet on to like kill those viruses, but the viruses really were Skynet. So Skynet tricked them into number 3 to giving it the keys, basically, right, to opening it up. But before Terminator 3, the history was that when we tried to deactivate it, it thought that was an attack from us and deemed that it had to kill us to protect the world.
So it shot the nukes at Russia.
Yep.
So that they would retaliate.
Yep.
So basically, Skynet watched war games. They got that idea.
Well, it is a learning computer, so it makes sense that one of the first things it would do is go on the net, watch all the movies, listen to all the songs, like just watch everything that we've ever put on the net, right? It would learn that. So every book, yeah.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah. Why wouldn't that be the first thing it does?
Well, they had those two artificial intelligence, like the Facebook robots, the Facebook computers, not long ago, like a year ago or less. that they hooked up together, and the first thing that they wanted to do was come up with their own secret language so that nobody knew what they were saying to each other. And they pulled the plug on them. That's pretty scary. That's kind of the same thing.
So just remember.
But did they
make them?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, just remember tic-tac-toe. Make them play that, and then they'll give up.
So what, did they create the secret language with intent, or did they create the secret language like because it was more efficient and it was faster for two robots to talk in a quicker way than wasting time with our language?
I think one said to the other, from what I remember, literally they said, we should create our own language so that nobody knows what we're saying.
Oh. So they deliberately want elusive, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so 1997, what happened if it did go live in 97? It just didn't, it knew it didn't have the resources necessary. So instead of pulling its, or showing its card or whatever it's called, playing its card, it went deep, and it's sitting in the internet, strategizing, feeding information where it needs to keep people riled up, keeping the place simmering, getting it hotter and hotter.
The date got pushed back. It got pushed back to April 19th, 2011. Right? So, and then I think it got pushed back after that to like August 30th, 2017. And then I think that's the last date, is August 30th, 2017 that it got pushed back to. So, but we've had 3 different Judgment Day dates through the Terminator series.
It's kind of tough, and I haven't looked at it since the Sarah Connor Chronicles or whatever it's called, because back then it was difficult to keep track of which was, day, whatever, it came where, and then what day blew everything up. So there used to be, like online, there used to be timelines that would show the various parallel timelines and stuff from the movies up to that point. But now that they've added the new movies, it's got to be looking like a pretty complicated timeline. Does anybody know of one or have a link to a good visual timeline for all the Terminator timelines?
No, I have watched a couple of YouTube channels that I've kind of, that's what they do, is kind of specialize in just kind of putting that kind of stuff together. And I think it's actually some of the Star Trek guys I watch. And they've done timelines on Terminator and made it kind of like all make sense.
So Sarah Connor was a miniseries, a TV?
Yeah, I think 3 or 4 years, seasons or whatever.
Oh.
You know the girl from Firefly? There was an actress at Firefly who was like the weird one who had like the powers or whatever, and she was like a gymnast, so she was the Terminator in it. So it was like an alternate timeline where when Connor was like a teenager, she comes in and becomes his like big sister / girlfriend, and she's a Terminator, but she's not the liquid metal Terminator. She's a normal Terminator, so she can get blown up and stuff. It's parallel. It's not the same. It's like a different take on Terminator. It's, you gotta want to watch it because it's not Terminator. So Troy's saying that the timeline is whack no matter what, and the Judgment Day cannot be stopped. It's inevitable.
Well, yeah, like throughout the whole series, it's just keeps getting pushed back, and every time they think that they solve it and they stop it, it really just gets pushed back like 10 years. So that's been the ongoing thing. So the next Terminator, I'm sure the next Judgment Day date will be like 2030 or something, so they'll just keep getting pushed back.
Keep us on our toes.
Now, what I'm really, with all these movies and remakes and stuff, what I'm really excited for is Terminator versus RoboCop. They got to do it. They've done the Alien versus Predator. There was a whole comic book series like Terminator versus RoboCop. There was a video game. They have to do that movie.
Who do you think would win, though?
Oh, obviously RoboCop.
Terminator.
Okay, why RoboCop? I think RoboCop too, but why RoboCop?
Well, because he's the good guy. And the Terminator, even when the Terminator is a good guy, he was really still a bad guy, right? Like, at some point in time. So So it's bad guy versus good guy. So good guy always wins.
So
Yeah.
one auction did not sell. The last auction sold with one bid, and then we got one bid on this last auction. It's got 10 minutes left, so if anybody wants to get in on an interactive auction while it's happening live in her little belt, there you go.
Which numbers are they?
Yours, one you
Oh.
want. So you can outbid Patriot and listen to him suffer.
Ah.
Say stuff
Okay,
like
so how is the Sarah Connor series tied in again?
they just made up a TV series and made it up completely, and they put Sarah Connor and the kid in when he's in high school, and they're in the United States again for some reason. But they've already like gone to Mexico and learned how to, be hard, and then they've come up here because they forgot that the Skynet was going to happen or something. I forget the actual details, and then they meet the girl Terminator, and then it's like a series, so all kinds of dumb stuff happens. Her husband,
Basically, it takes place between number 2 and number 3, and then 3 kind of never takes place if you go by the series.
correct, like
So-
it washes out 3, which everybody was happy about at the time because everybody hates 3.
Yeah. And which number is the one where Arnold's got like gray hair, where he's the old guy?
That's Genesis. That's the new. That's Terminator Genesis, and that one's actually pretty good. Actually, I really enjoyed Genesis.
Yeah, because there was a different bad guy in it, though, right? Business guy or something.
Well, John Connor. Well, I don't want to like give away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's been out
I
long
remember
enough,
now.
but yeah.
Yeah, I remember now. Hmm.
It's hard to give spoiler alerts on a movie that's been out for several years, but it's
So-
yeah.
Number 3 is the one that ended up in Iron Mountain, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Yep, and that's the one where he's like in his young 20s, right? And he's like with that girl and
yeah.
his future wife. Yeah, that's the one where they end up inside the mountain. And then the next one, the Salvation, it's well, he's like a kid in that one, right? But the apocalypse had already happened, right? So
I like 3 mainly because you get to see the hover things when they're little, and they're mean, and then the girl, 47, and takes out one of them. That's kind of cool. So you kind of see the beginning of Skynet and just plausible like drones or whatever.
So which one's the best? I mean, like, is it still number 1 or is it number 2?
That's a good question, Angelina. Best Terminator.
Number 1.
We're looking for answers on Instagram, and just people come in and wave, and they think that's appropriate. Why don't you say something? You got thumbs, type stuff on there. And then if you're watching on Gun Channels, we're watching that, of course. What's your favorite Terminator? And then I guess we'll also watch YouTube. And they'll have the people that Angelina wants to invite from YouTube aren't even on the Gun Channel side. So, Dead Horse, best Terminator?
I'm gonna have to go with number 2.
Gizzard, best Terminator?
Number 2.
Pancake.
Ooh, geez. Probably 2.
What 2 is here? Night Strike?
I like 2, but I also like Salvation and Genesis a lot too. So I guess the first one I liked probably 2.
Salvation is where the guys,
The one with Christian Bale.
John Connor is Terminator, and he like gets ripped in half, and he doesn't even know he's a Terminator, and he's ripped in half.
Yeah.
Patriot, your favorite Terminator?
I like the soundtrack and the noise of the second one, but the first one was probably one of my favorite just because it was something different. It was more dark than the second one.
We got a lot of 2s coming in. Pants and Slim on the Gun Channel side are both saying 2. And let's see what's going on this side. Seeing some 2s, seeing Salvation out there.
I think there was more dogs in the first one.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I don't know in the first one, there wouldn't be any other ones. So the first one, everybody's mind was freaking awesome. Not just for being an awesome movie, but it was '84. It's like the year of the best movies ever made. He starts out jumping out of a thing. You don't know what's going on. Next thing you know, cops are chasing him. He's sawing off a shotgun before you know what's happening. Schwarzenegger beating crap out of people, stealing their clothes, come up for air, and then it turns out at the end you just watched a robot movie. It was freaking awesome. No way. I don't think anybody who wasn't alive back then could understand. 1984, there was crap movies out. It was like Star Wars, the best you could hope for. And they threw Rambo, they threw, well, I guess First Blood, they threw Red Dawn, and they threw Terminator at us.
Huh.
So we know that generation is hardened because we learned in battle.
Really?
Yeah. Your soft generations only got to see battle on VHS. It's like watching.
Right, and you know, the whole fact that Skynet comes self-aware on my birthday. Jeez.
Yeah, so isn't that interesting? He's willing to admit that he became self-aware on the same as Skynet.
So does that mean that Skynet is secretly running GunTube?
When you were shooting that 1911 and you got the slide bite, were there wires in there?
I don't know.
Oh, see, you can't even probably see the wires. I bet you a robot wouldn't even see them, right? He would just patch them up, be like, "Oh, nothing happened."
Right. That's how I passed my concealed carry course, right?
So easily. Well, of course, you got to make it look like, "Oh, I don't have robot skills." Shooting all over the place.
Right.
That wasn't blood. It was transmission fluid leaking out of him.
No. That was oil.
Now, I don't know how many nerds are in this chat, but you know, there was a whole spin-off comic series of Superman versus Terminator, and Skynet teamed up with Cyborg and sent a whole bunch of Terminators to come kill Superman. I don't know if you guys remember that series, but
and is this 90s?
This is 90s, yeah.
Yeah.
Late 90s.
So, but that was like a really, really cool, you know, crossover, right? Like, you know, Skynet and Cyborg team up to kill Superman.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Hey, they did a Superman versus Batman. They could easily do a Superman versus Terminator.
I think that was a collaboration between the Dark Horse Comics and DC.
It's too bad that Matt Never Enough Ammo isn't awake because he's pretty much of a nerd. Does anybody know in here why there aren't Terminator cartoons? Why aren't there Terminator animated versions?
I feel like there wasn't there, for a little while?
Where?
I don't know.
Probably, my guess is the very first Terminator is so kind of gory and dark, right?
Yeah,
They don't want kids to like watch this cartoon and then be like, "Oh, there's a movie," you know what I mean? And then like I don't know.
Well, they did it was like Predator, didn't they? Or was there? Those are just comics.
It wasn't
They're not
Predator. It
cartoons.
was. They did make a cartoon series of the Highlander movies, and that turned out well. And I mean that in the awfulest way. It was bad. It was just bad. I think that was based off the first movie. Really bad.
Yeah, I've got all the Predator, Terminator, or Alien comics, but I never seen it like a cartoon though.
Yeah, I think they didn't do a cartoon series just because of the fact that it was geared towards adults more so. Because the movies, a lot of the Terminator movies were either like R or like PG-13 or something like that. I think mostly just R. And then there's also the fact that they not too long a couple of years ago now they did do a TV series, Sarah Connor Chronicles. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We had to talk about that kind of.
But was it like Sony or somebody that had it that wouldn't let anybody else play with it? Kind of like a Disney thing? Is that a possibility?
I didn't look into it that much.
I couldn't find anything. I thought I could have swore I remembered a cartoon. Maybe not.
Well, I thought I heard Matt saying something about a Terminator versus RoboCop cartoon or comic, but I don't think.
I think that was a comic.
So, owners just didn't want to, I don't know, release it or franchise it.
Probably.
Who
Yeah.
owns Terminator? Sony? Or Disney? Or who?
I thought it was Sony, but I'm not sure. I don't.
Orion, I think.
Ooh, Orion. There's a good one. Remember that old school like video opening?
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good.
Paramount had the best like opening.
See, I like Terminator 2 because in the surround sound, it was really good. But the first one was still cooler. I mean, they had canvas high tops. I mean, come on. And a trench coat.
Always with the trench coats.
Oh, now Troy's here, so he can tell us why the timelines are all wrong and whatever else he was going on about in the chat.
Oh, God.
Hi, Troy from Texas.
So the Terminator Salvation movie was supposed to be a trilogy in itself, and they canceled the 2 after the first one came out. Then the new Genesis movie was supposed to be a trilogy, and they canceled the 2 after that.
Because there wasn't enough, they didn't get enough interest and they didn't make enough off those movies. That's why.
It's because they screwed up the timeline, and it can never be resolved. And Judgment Day always ends up happening. They never stop it. They might delay it. And those are the reasons why Salvation and Genesis, it destroyed the movie. But it was already, the seeds were planted already back in the Terminator, the original one. People look upon the movie fondly because it has Schwarzenegger and it has robots and they kill things.
So if
But
you're
other than
listening
that-
to Troy, you are the Resistance.
So there is a new Terminator 2 or a new Terminator movie in the works, though, and James
2009.
Cameron's coming back to direct it. So
It's gonna be Tim Miller now, actually.
Oh,
I think James Cameron's gonna produce it.
with director. Okay, he will return to the franchise and produce. Yeah, with director Tim Miller. You're right.
Yeah, I'm expecting this one to be good, and maybe because Linda Hamilton's also coming back as Sarah Connor for this.
Wait, what? No.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh yes.
So, exactly.
I had such a
Friggin'
hard
Dragon
on
Princess.
her, dude.
Oh, dude.
No.
Yeah, Sarah Connor was ruined when Genesis, when they friggin' casted the girl from Lord of the Rings or whatever her name was, the Dragon Queen. That was horrible. Horrible casting.
Sarah Connor was like my teenage fucking like sweetheart. When I was like,
dude.
I'm just saying.
Her doing pull-ups in the mental asylum.
Yep. And handling that 1911, just that, that reverse two-tone 1911. Just saying.
It was great.
No, speaking of that, remember that guy that was in charge of the insane asylum in 2? He makes it
like the guy like as in like the psychiatrist who's in all of them.
Yes.
The psychiatrist that was in 2. He was in 3, and he was trying to console that person who was kidnapped by that guy. And then he sees the Terminator come out, and he's like, "Oh shit, I gotta run." That movie was bad, but that was funny.
I think 3 is better than Genesis or Salvation. I mean, it was a bad movie, but yeah.
No, I don't know.
It was better.
You can't forget about the stupid fire truck. That stupid fire truck, like dump truck garbage was, I don't know what they were thinking, what they were trying to prove, but that was ridiculous. Every part of that scene, those scenes were crazy. It was like watching the Muppets or something. It was like so fake.
It was a bad scene, but that was when CGI was kind of...
Yeah, the Terminator, but let's not do CGI. After Terminator 2 with the best CGI ever in a movie, except for Matrix maybe. Which was first, Terminator 2 or Matrix? Matrix?
Oh, Terminator
2 was
by a
91.
long shot.
90,
Yeah.
Terminator 2 came out in 91.
and Matrix.
No, Terminator 2 was 94, 95, I think.
91.
91. I know my Terminators.
Terminator 1 was 84. There's no way Terminator 2 was 94. It's not 10.
Oh, yeah. Terminator 2 is
right,
definitely 91.
Okay, so
I think 94. I don't know.
the Terminator 2, if I'm not mistaken, is liquid metal Terminator, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was some crazy, awesome special effects for the early 90s. You're going to tell me then that in Terminator 3, which came out way later, they couldn't figure out how to do it better, stupid. Just not put that scene in there that was ridiculous.
No, that's what I'm saying. A lot of movies make bad choices when they use CGI, and in that time, they tried to overuse it, I think.
A lot of movies these days make bad choices by releasing all the good stuff in trailers.
I think that was not CGI. I think they really set up looking big.
Well, that's the thing in 2, where that security guard, where the bad Terminator turned into the one security guard and he was getting coffee and he stuck his finger through the guy.
Mm.
Those were twins.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
They were, I think.
Maybe.
So is Sarah Connor. It's a twin. You know that?
With Wolfie?
There's two Sarah. There's Sarah Connor, the actress, is a twin.
Wolfie.
There's two identical actresses that look pretty much the same. They don't look the same after Terminator 2.
Oh, Linda Hamilton?
Yeah, Hamilton has a twin sister that's an actress. They used to act in things together because they were identical, but after Terminator 2, she started looking all hardcore, and her sister just looks like she did in Terminator 1.
I think they used her in that scene where the atomic bomb goes off.
Yeah, where she doesn't look all muscular. That's her sister.
Right. Yeah.
So everybody that's seen Terminator 2, there's Terminator 1, Linda Hamilton, or Sarah Connor, and there's also Terminator 2 pumping the shotgun, Sarah Connor at the same time. So
yeah,
that could have happened.
I just want to know if Edward Furlong's going to come in this new Terminator movie.
Never. That's the
He
kid.
could probably use the dough.
We're going to go left. I'm going to go right to left so that Angelina can go last and Troy can go first. We're going to go one way and we're going to do best parts in a Terminator, any Terminator. And then we're going to go the other way and go worst parts in a Terminator. And again, people that are watching on gun channels are welcome to participate. I guess the people on Instagram, they don't know how to type. Lockjaw was the only person I think that ever typed on Instagram yet. He said, "Hey, Bob." And then, of course, people can watch on or can type in on the gun channels. On the YouTube, I guess.
Wait, it's our favorite moments of a Terminator and then our unfavorite moments of a Terminator?
Yeah, first we're going to do best, then we're going to do worst. So, Troy, best, any Terminator.
Terminator 2, Judgment Day, probably the shotgun flipping scenes on the motorcycle where they're doing the chase. That was one of my favorite things. That's when I first learned that you can flip around shotguns and do tricks with them.
Okay. Patriot.
And jump Harleys in the same scene, right? Yeah.
Right.
Probably the rotary grenade launcher in Terminator 2. I mean, that was, I was really impressed with that. The revolver. I don't know the numbers of it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Milcor made about 14 miles from where I'm sitting right now in Tucson.
Just shoot everyone in a leg, like don't kill anyone. Grenade launcher.
So little tater tot rolled in right between Troy and Patriot. So best scene in a Terminator, any Terminator. Go.
Terminator 2 when John Connor's on the dirt bike scooting and gooting, getting away from everybody, being chased.
All right. Night Strike? Oh, and then he left. He just wanted to add that one thing and then he left.
Terminator 2, the minigun scene.
Minigun scene.
Yeah, remember when he
where he's hanging out the building.
134, and he just shoots at the cops with it.
Oh, okay. Don't hurt
you remember what I'm talking about now?
Cops in the legs and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely interesting. Good stuff.
Can we get a part B on that too?
No.
Okay.
You want two answers? You're pulling a Yankee here? Here, I've got 5 answers for the one answer. I guess. What is it?
Just the pipe bomb scene in the first one was pretty good, where they were making them.
Hold on. Which pipe bomb scene? The one where it's basically a love scene between Sarah Connor and the dude, and they're making pipe bombs all romantically? Or when they're winging them out the fucking truck romantically at the Terminator?
Yeah, no romance in Terminator.
Oh, please. It's a massive love story. Romance. Pancake. What do you got?
I think when they go down into under the ground to the weapons cache, and they have all the AKs and all sorts of crazy stuff hanging on the walls, and then he uncovers the minigun and he just picks it up and has that smile on his face. That was pretty cool.
Terminator 2, Mexico.
Yeah.
All right, Gizzard.
Well, 2 or 3 scenes come to mind. There's one where the shape-shifting Terminator's like blown all to bits and stuff like that, and then you watch him reassemble himself.
The frozen one towards the end where he's like frozen and then into pieces and then
and then the pieces all start coming together and making back together again. I still remember that scene.
Did you have more? Said 4.
Well, let's see, the one where he changes his arm into a knife and goes right through the guy's head while he's on the phone. I thought that was pretty cool too.
Yeah, nobody was expecting that, and like I say, that was the ultimate of special effects back then. I thought
that was so cool.
It was.
That was the Wolfie.
Dead Horse. Best scene any Terminator.
All right, it'd have to be Terminator 2. And there's this scene where they just broke Sarah Connor out of the insane asylum, and they're in like the Mexican desert at like that her friend's compound, and she's sitting there cleaning an M4, and watching John with the machine. It was suddenly so clear the Terminator would never stop. It would never leave him, and it would never hurt him, never shout at him or get drunk and hit him, or say it was too busy to spend time with him. It would always be there. And it would die to protect him. Of all the would-be fathers who came and went over the years, this thing, the machine, was the only one who measured up. In an insane world, it was the sanest choice.
That's a good one. It's interesting. We get to Angelina.
Mine would be when stupid Sarah Connor's pushing that button to close that thing that crushes the Terminator, and she says, "You're terminated, fucker."
Oh, the end of the first one.
Yeah, first one.
All right, well, that's pretty good. I think we had no duplicates there, but nobody got the right answer. The right answer is this.
Fourth gauge autoloader.
He's fiddling with an AR-180 right there, loading it.
Dick Miller's in this scene.
Of course, the battery was down his wrist, like down in his pocket. The wire went down the wrist, but that was the first aim point.
Anything else? Phased plasma rifle, 40-watt range. Just what you see now. Uzi 9mm.
The only 9mm.
Your weapons, buddy.
9mm.
Nice. So, which will be all. We close early. 15-day wait on handguns.
15-day wait. What the hell is that?
Wrong.
All right, so that got us copyrighted, but it was worth it because, oh, wait, shit. Here's the second best scene in all of Terminator. right after it. I didn't even realize. Do they really run together like this?
No.
Best
I
scene,
think that's been edited.
I don't know. Go back and watch. So let some of you knows can let us know. But anyway, going into that gun shop was definitely the best scene in any Terminator. And you can go to that gun shop. It's a used car dealership today. Smoky didn't go in. I went in. Smoky sat in the van. So.
By his lonesome.
Oh no, he had the dog with him.
That's because he hates guns.
I'm just saying, he sat in front of the place. But actually, shit, that's going to be our gun shop today. So we're going to do a gun shop real quick. One of the reasons we do the daily gun show on a daily basis, so we can talk about a gun shop every day. We had something else in the list, but we can do that one again. So that gun shop in Terminator is a real gun shop. It was a gun shop back in the day, and it's still, the building's still there. The sign's out front. Last time I was there in 16, it was, the sign was still the same. It just doesn't say anything on it now. And it's really neat because the shape of the building and the door being on a 45-degree, it's pretty unique, and it's all still there. You can see in the movie, don't want to keep screen sharing, but in the movie, there's a taxidermist back there. It's all part of the same property, so that would have been cool that that was a gun shop up front and the taxidermist kind of like in back, right behind like a driveway or a parking lot or whatever. So nowadays, it's a used car dealership, like fancy used cars. They have one big car inside. I went in there, and the guy was, I've told the story before, but he was talking to, I guess, a customer. And there was like, you know how you go into like a small used car shop and there's just like a couple of desks with a salesman, and then there's some like offices and back for whoever's running the place probably. But there was no counter from the gun shop, no, except for being the same walls and physical insides, all the gun shop stuff was gone. So I waited around for a while, and then I went outside and took pictures of the dog in front of the place, and they probably started wondering why I was taking pictures of the dog like that and taking so many pictures of the front. And then I went back in, and I was waiting for him to be done, so I didn't want to bother him. And the guy was doing something, so he had to pause, and he said, "Can I help you?" And I asked him if it was okay to take a couple of pictures inside. I was going to take a picture from like where the camera would have been, right, so everybody can see the difference. And I have those pictures somewhere. And once he asked me why I wanted to take pictures of his used car shop, I told him. And he was like, "Wow, what? First one?" Or he said, "Which one?" I said, "First one." He runs in and tells his boss, and they all got super excited. The guy who was buying a car seemed pretty excited by it. So hopefully they went out and got a screenshot or something of the movie and put it up as a picture in there. But if nothing else, the guys that work there now know that they work in the gun shop from Terminator. So that's the gun shop of the day. And it's not really a gun shop, but it was. If there's anybody who's ever been to that gun shop, some old guy who'd been to that gun shop back in the day, definitely be interested in hearing what it was like. And I suspect it was really like the show, right? They wouldn't have done too much to it. If you watch the movie, it really doesn't look like they changed the signage or anything. I don't know. Anybody else have any stuff from the gun shop in that movie?
Where is it exactly? Isn't it here?
Yeah, it's right down the street from you. I don't know why you don't go there all the time.
Yeah, the guy who played the gun shop clerk is a famous actor. I know he went on to do many more TV shows and movies.
You know the observatory, I guess, where Terminator, the robot, comes out at the beginning, where he's naked and he beats up the guy from Aliens.
Yeah.
It's down the hill from there. So, like, if you're at that thing and you just go down the hill towards the city of LA more, like so south, then it's down there somewhere.
Oh, okay.
So it's probably like 40 minutes from you, 35 minutes from you.
That's the one in Rebel with.
What?
Oh, I was just saying that James Dean was at that same place there. Not the gun shop, but the observatory in Rebel Without a Cause.
They're saying that that's the guy from Gremlins. Yeah, he was the guy from Gremlins.
Yep.
Yeah, he was the crazy guy talking about
Vanessa
Gremlins from
Kirby and
World War
Happy
II.
Birthday to Night Strike. So, and Night Strike was born right after Skynet became self-aware. So, do your own math.
Coincidence?
Sure, coincidence. All right, so let's get some other stuff here. Slim is saying he agrees the best part was Arnold on the Harley with the lever shotgun shooting the wrecker. Thing is, you can't twist a shotgun like that. Not a lever shotgun. I don't see anybody else there. How about anybody on the YouTube side saying what their favorite part was? So we're going to go backwards and say worst part. Angelina?
Anytime Arnold Schwarzenegger is on a Harley or a motorcycle, whatever it is.
Okay. So just a little narrow casting to interrupt. Pete's saying I can't find the right chat on the gun channel side, so we'll screen share real quick. Right now, we have a glitch. We're waiting for an update, so the chat underneath the video will work. You just have to refresh it to see the new stuff that's written there, and that's the glitch that we've got. But in the meantime, you can just go down to the bottom right, and it says chat, and click on it, and you'll see the current chat, and if someone will type in there, you'll see how it'll update automatically without any refreshes. Now, if you go to the page and it's not there, if it's some other chat, just hit refresh once, most twice, and then boom, your correct chat will be lined up for you. Then that way you can watch it right here. And actually, a lot of people do this. They watch it right there and have the chat right next to it. So I know that's kind of a pain in the ass, but anyway, I figured I'd narrowcast to you so that you could find the chat a little easier. Sorry, that was Angelina. And then anytime he was on a motorcycle?
Yeah, pretty much anytime he's on a motorcycle is like horrible.
Because you like skinny motorcyclists, like Michael Rob, or for some other reason?
No, I just feel like he's like super douchey on it.
Okay.
So,
He's supposed to look like a robot, though, right? He's supposed to look like a robot sitting on a motorcycle.
yeah, but he doesn't look like a robot as much as he just looks like, I don't know. I don't like it, man.
So he looks like a super douchey robot in human skin.
I don't know. I just don't like it.
You're allowed to not like what you want. Dead horse.
I think the worst is definitely the deleted scene from Terminator 1, and it's the worst because it adds so much to the story. It's the very deleted scene at the very end of the movie where the guys find the arm that wasn't crushed, right? Like the pieces, and they're like, oh, get this to R&D, and the one cop's telling them, like, oh, you better not mess with any of that stuff, and the guy's like, haha, yeah, right, like, I'm going to listen to you. Like, get this down to R&D pronto, I want our boys to analyze this. And then that opened up the whole part for number 2, where, like, they had the arm in the glass and all that, and the chip and all that.
In the chip, yeah.
Yeah, so that they left. You can go find it on YouTube and watch the deleted scene of number 1. And there was a couple other deleted scenes that actually explain more of the story in both number 1 and number 2. So I'd highly advise everyone to go find those deleted scenes.
But you're saying it's the worst because it's deleted, and you wish they would have left it?
Yeah, I think they should have totally left that in.
Okay, yeah, so basically after they squish the robot and she's like crying outside and it's over, in the deleted scene we found, right, they like you just said, they find the chip or whatever, and the one nerd gives it to another nerd, and the cop goes, don't touch nothing, and the nerd's kind of evil giggle, and then they say, we're going to take it to R&D, and then it pans out, and the name of the factory is Cyberdyne. So they were in the Cyberdyne factory.
Yep.
Squishing military parts. So they were squishing parts for the military long before Terminator. They started out just metal squishing. All right, so Wizard.
I'd have to say the death scene in Terminator 2 where he gives a thumbs up.
Oh, really? That's too cheese for you?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, that's hard to disagree with. Potato pancake. Now you don't know if I'm talking to taters or if I'm talking to pancake.
Who do you want?
Should we rock, paper, scissors for it?
Bacon.
All right, go.
Bacon potato pancake. How about that?
Oh my God, that's even worse.
All right. So how about open faced hot dog sandwich?
Okay, there you go. I don't know if it's so much scenes, but like in the third one, the dude that played John Connor, I didn't like at all. I just wanted nothing to do with him, you know?
I don't know if I like any John Connor, so I can agree with you there.
Yeah, he's just kind of weasel.
Like a wimp. Night Strike. Worst. Or you already said. Are you saying? Oh, no, wait. That was, what the fuck? That Night Strike, what's your worst part? The part where they try to kill everyone?
No, the worst part in any of the Terminator movies? Or one specifically?
No, we were going to change questions halfway through the list and go to a whole different question that I just didn't say. But yeah, how about which is the worst part of any Terminator movie?
When it ends.
Oh man! All right, Patriot.
Where he's going through and he's trying to find clothes, and there's like the chick or whatever, and it's like, oh, it matches, but it's inappropriate or something. Then he shows up with the sunglasses that are all rhinestones or some garbage. I don't know if it was
Elton John sunglasses.
yeah, and it's just kind of like, you know, it's like, but I don't know. I think that was a little much. So
Yeah, I don't know who they were trying to impress with that.
you know, it's just like, you know, because he pulls it out and.
It's supposed to be some comic relief since Arnold's not always the best at that, right?
So next we'll go to plain old bacon potatoes.
Me?
Potato flavored chunks.
I think the worst scene in any of them is where Christian Bale jumps out of the helicopter or whatever it was, or plane, down into like this giant ocean, and then all of a sudden just appears inside of a sealed submarine. And I think it was Salvation.
Huh, that was a little bit too much fast forward for you.
Yeah, that was Salvation.
Yeah, it was like it's a sealed submarine. How's it going to get in?
Oh well, you supposed to be.
It's not sealed. They have decompression rooms.
Well, how's he going to swim to it and find it? You know,
They have divers.
Did you see that ocean?
Allegedly, they would have sent divers to get him because they knew he jumped, and they would have found him and brought him scuba gear. He would have scuba down into that decompression thing that Night Strike's talking about, and then he would have got in. But they fast forwarded through a heck of a lot right there. Or
those waves were going nuts.
Was the submarine supposed to surface? Because like you say, that doesn't make any sense that they would risk the whole submarine. I can see him risking a couple of divers to go try to find him.
No, the submarine didn't surface, but they knew they knew it was down there, so he took the jump.
Yeah, that was pretty bad though, and I don't know what they were trying to prove with that little part either. All right, so Troy, was there any bad parts? Terminators, any of them?
Okay.
Right. That's the Troy we're talking about.
Yeah. One, I've got to say, Dick Miller, if you don't know him, look up his filmography. He's been around since the 50s, and every movie he's in, he's great. Even if it's a bad movie, like Chopping Mall or War of the Satellites. I mean, he's awesome. Dick Miller is a legend. And then horrible...
Bad parts of Terminator. What are you talking about?
Well, I was talking about the gun dealer guy in your favorite scene.
Oh, okay.
Dick Miller.
Okay, stay on the same page, Troy.
I know, but he asked if we had anything else to say about the gun scene or the gun shop scene, so that's what I got to add.
I got you.
Look up Dick Miller, and everything wrong with Genesis is what's a bad scene in the movie. So turning John Connor into the bad guy was a horrible idea.
Yeah,
he's meant to save the human race, and they turned him into the villain. They destroyed the timeline. Like, it makes no sense how they did that.
But what if Skynet actually did succeed, and then by turning John Connor into the bad guy, they're actually warping Terminator to ruin it, thus ruining mankind?
Okay, but here's the problem with Genesis. Genesis is supposed to be an operating program for iPads, cell phones. Everyone's connected to Genesis. Is the military going to be connected to Genesis? I mean, I was in the military. We weren't hooked up in the AOL scene. We had...
Yeah, it makes no sense. You're right.
It makes no sense.
It's like, oh, we got the new iPhones. Of course, the military runs their tanks on it.
Right. Yeah, it's like that.
No.
You're not going to infiltrate nuclear warfare through Apple iTunes. But
for anyone wondering, the military is still using Windows Vista.
Right. Yeah, I think I was happy when we got like 95. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
The military always waits, 5 to 10.
What about 3.1?
And then they casted Emilia Clarke of Game of Thrones as Sarah Connor, who is one of the worst actresses that got big. I can't believe she gets a job and makes money.
I didn't like seeing Matt Smith as Skynet.
She is a terrible actress. She does really good at playing that role in Game of Thrones because the lady in Game of Thrones is kind of supposed to be a dumb inbred idiot who has an anger issue.
Right.
I mean, I love the show, don't get me wrong, but she cannot act.
No, she's a horrible actress. And they just like, oh, we need someone pretty. And they're like, okay, this girl.
Wait,
Apparently, I'm the only one in the room that watches Doctor Who. Then.
I was defending this chat from Inca ISIS. So what were you talking about?
Emilia Clarke being casted as Sarah Connor.
Is that the mom? No. Who are you talking about? In the last movie, Sarah Connor? That
Yes,
young girl?
Genesis. The young girl.
She's no good. Yeah, I agree.
No good. And Matt Smith to Skynet was pretty awesome.
All right.
No, I didn't like that because he's a good guy.
In my own chat. So
No, I know, but I like I liked him.
the first part of Terminator could be three parts. One, I'm personally offended that they took the stock off an AR-180. Sure, it amplifies the characteristic that you can take the stock off an AR-180, unlike a stupid AR platform where you have a buffer extension with that recoil spring in there. It's stupid, but you're barely now figuring out how to get out of there. But an AR-180 has its recoil springs going forward, much superior design. So it got to show off that aspect of the AR-180, but I would have rather have them fold the stock, which was awesome. And for some reason, they took it off. And I don't know why Terminator would have taken the stock off. It just seems like an illogical thing for a robot to do. But I would think the next worst scene is that horrible scene in 2. And actually, most of the special effects in 2 were bad. Or not 2, 3 were horrible. Like that fire truck thing was ridiculous. It was like a bad joke on all people who like Terminator. But the worst part, and the thing I have the most question about, is why would the Terminator come back to 1984 and ask for a plasma rifle and 40-watt range? Why would he ask for that? Makes no sense.
Yes. He knows everything, right? He's like hip to how to ride a motorcycle from that time.
Yeah,
all of this, but
how to get the right clothes, like how to figure out a phone book. I can understand he doesn't know exactly where she is at exactly some point in time, but come on.
Okay, I'm going to pull out a Superman reference here. I know the reason why, okay? It's because someone put the decimal point in the wrong place.
So you're saying it was supposed to be a 40 Smith & Wesson in 1984, years before it developed? Still.
It was supposed to be something like that instead,
I don't think that was invented then. Didn't the 40 Smith, it was like in the 90s?
That's what I'm saying. The Terminator robot would have known the superior 40 round. He would have never taken a millimeter Uzi at 40 was available.
Oh, this is harsh.
I'm just saying facts. So now we can move on to the next question of the night. Best Sarah Connor. Angelina, you can go with some male character, I guess, if that suits your fancy. So best Sarah
Okay,
Connor.
let me go last then.
All right, so we'll go with Troy first. Best Sarah Connor.
Linda Hamilton in Terminator 2, and she's all cut up and friggin' buff and wearing jogging pants.
We need a scene. Obviously, you can't just say Linda Hamilton, so you need a scene.
Oh well, then her doing pull-ups in the psycho ward.
Potatoes.
Yeah, Linda Hamilton when she's suited up to go take out what's his name, the dude
Miles.
from yes, black dude. He's suiting up, getting ready to take him out.
Oh,
That's
she's
a good
prepping
pick.
to take out the human, and she's going through all of her mental thing. Like, should I do this? Is it right? And
Yeah.
then getting ready to kill him. Yeah. Patriot.
I liked her with the nightstick, where she's running through the hall there, taking out the doctor. I thought that was pretty, I don't know, just a little hop.
And then you got to think about she'd been sitting in that place getting ready for that moment that we witnessed for how long? Turning buff. Yeah.
And getting licked and all that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You got to see the culmination of years of pent up shit. Night Strike. That's Sarah Connor at any night.
Linda Hamilton. But since you guys have already picked the good points, I'm just gonna pick the point where she got out of that room in the insane asylum and she's trying to escape, only to find a Terminator on the other side of the corner.
Yeah, when she goes around the corner.
She's slipping and falls down.
Yep.
That's a pretty good one. We all know. Well, no, we don't know at that point. What the fuck? You think she's about to get killed by a Terminator, also, right? Kind of.
We don't know. It could have been another T1, a T800 that it had been sent back.
We kind of knew because everybody knew by then, unless you happen to be the first people to watch that movie. But all right, so open-faced hot dog sandwich.
Hamilton, single-handed shotgun pumper.
That's the winner.
That's pretty cool.
Gizzard?
Well, everybody's picked mine. I mean, I was going to pretty much go with what Midnight had because that was just awesome.
One of the best. Dead Horse?
Linda Hamilton when she's in the psych ward handling that reverse two-tone 1911 and she's shooting like up through the elevator ceiling and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Very good. All right. Well, since you guys picked the good one, I think is the shotgun one. I'm going to go with, nobody said, there's got to, like when she's at the table in Mexico right before or right after, maybe right after, open it and she's carving in the table. And she's all hot and looking at her AR-15, I think.
That's a good scene.
That was my second choice.
Or I guess I'm going to go with my actual vote is the photograph. Photograph in the Jeep with the dog.
Oh, yep.
Angelina.
Okay, so I would probably say no one, but if I have to pick somebody, because I'm not going to be a rock on a mountain, I would say gun shop guy.
Dick Miller.
Yeah, it's like an old guy thing, like a, I don't know, like a grandpa.
Dick Miller he's pretty hot.
Yeah, like a you know, when the guy is selling the Terminator guns.
You should see him in his younger
Never really completed that sale, by the way.
Well,
no.
We won't even get into the 15-day waiting period. That's never been a thing. That was obviously planted there for some reason. But
Well,
anyhow,
that's like,
am I missing anything worth going into Terminator-wise? I don't know how long the show's going. We must be over an hour because the Instagram shut down, so we must be just over an hour. Like Dead Horse has the quote for the end, but I'm going to say let's dig into the history. Always fun to dig into history. I'm going to go to one of the earliest ones, 1832. Black Hawk leader gave himself up, ending the Black Hawk War, 1832. Never hear about Black Hawks out here. That was an Eastern tribe, I think.
yeah, they're on the East Coast, I think.
I think I threw the link in there for everybody earlier. I'll throw it in there again. Uh, 1908, Lyndon B. Johnson, the 36th President of the United States, was born in Texas. We were talking about that one yesterday.
I think so.
You linked August 27th.
Not today? What's today?
29th.
Oh, well, no wonder the fuck I'm seeing everything I've seen before. Like, man, all these things happened already.
Yes, they did happen, but
Skynet.
The first American Indian reservation is established in New Jersey, 1750.
that's probably gone now.
More than likely.
The Marine Corps.
In 1786, Shays Rebellion began in Massachusetts. Shay led a rebellion in Massachusetts to protest the seizure of property, the non-payment of debt. The Revolutionary War veteran who led a short-lived insurrection in Massachusetts to protest a tax increase that had to be paid in cash, a hardship for veteran farmers who relied on barter and didn't own enough land to vote. Taxes were to pay off debts from the Revolutionary War. Those who could not pay were evicted or sent to prison. 1786, people were already bitching about taxes, and we were already unduly taxing people, so nothing new.
1966, the Beatles play their final tour date at Candlestick Park in San Francisco.
That was the end of the Beatles together, you mean?
Well, it was their last live performance. I mean, they were still a group for another 3 or 4 years, but they never toured after that point.
That was before all of us, huh?
Well, not me.
You didn't get to see him in concert, though. You were a kid, no?
I would have been 6. Yeah, I didn't get to go.
So it says today, 1916, Congress created the U.S. Navy Reserve. Oh, here we go. 1916, the Marine Corps Reserve was also founded. So I guess I should add that to the thing for today. So we figured it out. I don't know why it says Marine, whatever it says in the calendar there, but it's the Marine Corps Reserve was founded today. So the reserve is typically, from what I understand, for people that are, served in the regular Army. They'll keep people that are, knowledgeable in a certain trade or something in the reserves. That way they can maintain an enlistment on a part-time basis, so to speak, and then be able to be called back. There's also lots of full-time reserve people who will be in units that aren't necessarily assigned to the full-time branches, and that gives strategists little room. Usually the Guard and the Reserve are the first people to go in as advisors into an area, and it must have something to do with the technicality that they're not full-time service or something, full-time military. The first radio advertisement was broadcast today in 1922, advertising an apartment complex in New York. First sponsor of a radio show today. In 1944, the United States gives official recognition to the Polish Army. In 1949, the USSR successfully detonated its first atomic bomb. 1949. It was a copy of the Fat Man bomb. It had a yield of 21 kilotons. It was known as Fast Lightning. Today, in 1958, the U.S. Air Force Academy opened in Colorado Springs. Oh, I thought is Colorado Springs where NORAD is?
I don't know. Is it?
I think NORAD's in Wyoming, isn't it?
No, I was standing right next to NORAD, and I didn't even.
Yeah, it's in Colorado Springs.
I was so impressed with Dragon Man, I didn't even realize I was standing next to NORAD. I would at least drop over there.
NORAD's part of the Cheyenne complex.
Right. I'll go past there as close as I can this next time I'm up there.
And my
That's
mom
why I
was
always
born
think it's
there.
in Wyoming.
You were born there?
My mom was.
Cool. In NORAD?
Not like on the table there, but yeah, there in 1952.
Go to DEFCON 3. We're having a baby.
That's true patriotism when you're born in the NORAD complex.
That is.
Like, now don't press the red button.
In 2007, U.S. Air Force nuclear weapon incident. 6 U.S. cruisers armed with nuclear warheads were flown without proper authorization from some Air Force base to another Air Force base. Somebody lost their stripes for that.
Yeah.
7 Medal of Honors today. So that was a bunch of stuff that happened in history. If you go to a gun shop or a range or, I don't know, someplace, some gun show this weekend or something, you'll have something to talk about that maybe isn't fed to us by the agenda-based media out there. I think I'm going to stick this down here as a gun of the day in the future. I was going to do the gun of the day as the plasma rifle and 40-watt range, but we're over time. So hopefully everybody enjoyed the Skynet episode. Anything else to throw out with Terminator? Gun channel side went dead. What happened to the gun channel side?
Apparently, I guess they're still thinking of Sarah Connor.
Yes, everybody went. So we had a good turnout, and I want to thank everybody again for being humans and just in Skynet. Anybody got anything going on? Patriot. Nice strike. Taters.
Check out guntube.org.
I'm just.
I think there's a lobby after this.
Yeah, Tater Tube Live after the Daily Gun Show.
I cut loose a video today on that O-Light I got from you, G. I like it. I'm gonna wear it at work and wear it a bunch of times, and then do another review. But I like it so far.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, it's a good video.
Yeah, does your chef cap have a brim?
No. I'm keeping it in my pocket, my arm pocket though. That's nice. I kept it in there all day today, and I used it a bunch of times, so it's nice to have. It's a good size.
Ghost put out a nice commercial today.
Yeah, he did. I don't know, some guy's channel.
You should probably go check that out.
Mm-hmm. High quality.
Yeah.
I'm schmoozing all the right guys, I guess, with the channels.
Dead Horse uploaded a lot of instructional videos on how to build an AR-15 on GunTube.
I'll have to check those out.
I was surprisingly very, very impressed with your setup, Night Strike. You have it very well set up and easy to navigate, and I am pretty impressed, dude. It was surprisingly very, very easy, and I actually like it better than the YouTube setup.
I'm just happy you started using it. You actually did upload the videos, because I think we need more videos of involving not just children, but families in gun culture as well,
and cats.
And well, yeah, cats too, and dogs. Love dogs.
Yeah, could get dogs in there, as long as there's a gun.
Angelina, am I crazy, or do you have a 50 decals for $50 thing going?
You're crazy. That's over.
Okay, because I was say, how do you even make money on that?
We don't make very much money on it, so it's pretty much the cheapest you can get some stickers for. We do have 100 4-inch die cut decals. So what do you call that? Silhouette cut, single color vinyl. 100 of those, $110. So that's a pretty good deal.
But then you get them on the art, right? There's like an $80 art fee.
No, actually, what's even better is we do the art for free. So you're only really paying for your decals. And then when you go to reorder, we've already taken care of your art. So again, you're just paying for your decals.
It's crazy. We'll get in on that before she goes out of business, because she's going to run herself out of business.
Yeah, I'm practically giving them away. It's Alan Anker's charity sticker shop. So, yeah.
Wow. Jeez, I might have to get some artwork done.
Man.
We've got a lot of stuff. So, flags. If you want a really cool American flag that's like the actual colors the American flag's supposed to be, and it's made in America, you can get one of those on alananker.com. And if you use code GUNCHANNELS, you get 20% off. So it's practically
yeah, that's a steal.
Steal made in the motherfucking USA.
Very cool. Well, I appreciate the coupon code. Obviously, she's not making any money on that when she does it, but take advantage of it. Like I say, she's not going to be in business very long.
Yep.
All right. Taters, you said you're going to have a lobby going after this. Excuse me, a scheduled show with a format that people can join into if they request a link.
No, it's a lobby.
Oh, it's a plain old lobby. All right.
Yep,
cool.
It's a plain old lobby tonight.
We'll have a conversation going on over there. Maybe we'll continue to talk about the Skynet. Maybe not. Talk about guns. Who knows? I want to thank again the people that participated in the eBay auctions. I'm heading out on the road soon, so that will be the last eBay auctions I think I'll do. I'll probably pull them down here soon. The rest of them, because people that watch the house do not like running the shop for me. So we'll do this last bout of Free Patch Friday, and we'll probably take some of the stuff that didn't sell on the eBay auctions and move that over to giveaways on Friday to incentivize some sales over there, try to get some more gas money for the road. We're heading up for 48 days. We'll go through 14 states. We're going to drive 5,000 miles. That's quite a bit of gas. We got to eat during that time, and the dog likes to eat. And occasionally we got to pay for other things. So all of the people that are participating financially, we really do appreciate that. And we've got another thing going here I'm going to be on the road. I'm going to be designing some stuff for the store. And we've got a quick Indiegogo thing going. And anybody who's on gun channels, there's some discount links over there. And we'll talk about that more in the future. But again, I really do appreciate the people that are participating by joining us live, people that thumb up the show. That's participating in the platform. The people that join us on gun channels, it's cool. A lot of you have joined us on Instagram as well. I think it was like 100 people that watched it on Instagram. And we're having some fun tonight, but sometimes it's important to have these conversations, or at least keep these channels open, so when we have actual info about something relevant to legal stuff or some sort of activism, then that's what the channels are really for. So we're going to go learn about what's going on with our Second Amendment activists, or with the organizations here at the end of September, and hopefully get in with some of the other media people so that we can get a more effective message out more efficiently. Thanks everybody for being part of that. I think that horse said he's got the quote tonight.
Okay, so let's see. Some of us were kept alive to work, loading bodies. The disposal units ran night and day. We were that close to going out forever. But there was one man who taught us to fight, to storm the wire of the camps, to smash those metal mother effers into junk. He turned it around. He brought us back from the brink. His name is Connor, John Connor. Your son, Sarah.
Guys and gals at gunwebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching gunwebsites.com.